watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another night of great racing in the TNR League on Ghostfire Media. Here I am, Randy Pepper, alongside Nick Adams, who Nick may be or may not be very present tonight. Nick is dealing with the beautiful thing called COVID.
Yeah.
And
Still killing me.
It's still killing him, and so it may be a lot of Randy tonight. So
A lot of Randy for this Michigan 250, which is 125 laps here at the Michigan International Raceway. This is race 2 of the round of 16. 125 laps. Stage 1 is 30. Stage 2 is 60. Then we have a 65 lap Stage 3 finale. 5 sets of tires. It's 86 degrees, 63% humidity here in Brooklyn, Michigan at 8 mile an hour southwest winds. Randy, it's going to be a long one.
It's going to be a long one here in Michigan for sure. This can either turn out two ways, folks. This is either going to be the longest conga line that you've ever seen, or it's going to be the most exciting race you've ever seen. These Michigan track races can be brutal at times.
Yeah, Michigan is a rough one.
Yeah. So we hope tonight we're going to have a great race tonight. We hope we're going to have a lot of side-by-side drafting and all that good stuff tonight that Michigan can bring.
But we're also prepared to not have that.
Yeah, we're also prepared for it to not happen. I have brought a bunch of literature to read to you in the event that it is boring. I'll be reciting Edgar Allan Poe's some of his greatest writings about horror and scary things like that. So I thought everyone would enjoy that, but hopefully we don't have to get to that point. All right, so we are getting ready. We got a little practice going on right now just before qualifying. We'll begin here in just a second. So far on the podium, Eric Schaefer has been the fastest tonight at 39.527. Dylan Hastings in the number 7 has posted a 39.642. Now,
Speaking about that, the round of 10 begins next week at Kansas. That means 6 drivers will be eliminated from the playoffs tonight. Eric Schaefer, I'd say he's locked into the second round. Let's take a look, actually. Boom. Eric Schaefer is locked into the round of 10. The round of 10 does belong to Eric Schaefer. Mm-hmm. But the question is, Who are the other 9 drivers getting into the round of 10? Well, right now, it looks like Brandon Banks is pretty comfortable to 10th. Joe Sanchez, pretty comfortable. Jesse Prees, pretty comfortable. Kip Easley, Michael Newbrock, Cody Kinsey, Charlie Harcum, Wyatt Brackett, Casey Saunch. That is 5th to 10th. Those 5 drivers are going to be battling for 10th position, I think, throughout the night. Richard Swaverly, he is just 1 point out of the top 10. Scott Phelps, 2 points out of the top 10. Matt Grenier is 3 points out of the top 10. Ray Rogers is 4 points out of the top 10. Tony Kivett is 20 points out of the top 10. Sorry, 23 points. And Zach Wilson is 23 points out of the top 10. So there are going to be some tough ones there. Wilson, Kivett, Rogers, they're going to be pretty tough to get out of that bottom 6. But it's going to be very interesting to see as we go through the evening. I'll keep you a little bit updated on it. The points in this league are a lot more difficult for me to track, so I'm not able to track them for you like I was in our previous leagues that we've done here at Ghost Fire Media. The final race of the season will be able to easily do it because, again, it's the Final Four. It's the one who finishes the highest wins the championship. So we'll be able to do that one for you like we did with our last league. It's not going to be nearly as simple as it was to do regular points, though. So unfortunately, I'm not able to give you my thoughts on that tonight. But we'll keep you updated on what we get and what we learn throughout the evening.
What is one common thing with our last league that we covered? Kind of the same scenario.
You're asking. Oh, Richard Swaverly.
Yeah, Richard Swaverly, who last time in the last league we were in, we had kind of written him off. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Richard pops up and he's in the playoffs. So once again, Richard Swaverly sitting there 1 point out of it to move on to the next round.
It's very easy to get that tonight.
Yeah, he could either go either way tonight. So sitting on that bubble there. So we'll see if our old buddy Richard can move along in that number 32. Right now on the scoring chart in practice, he was 15th. So got a little ways to go. We'll wait for qualifying to begin here in about roughly almost just a little over 3.5 minutes. So it's going to be a fun night, as always, on the Ghost Fire Media Network. As we've said that Nick has COVID. It does exist. It is a real thing.
Yeah, I can tell you right now. I can tell you right now. This crap exists and it sucks.
Oh, it's just the flu.
Kiss my ass. It's just the flu.
Oh, no, I know. Hey, man, I've had it too, so I know.
I want the flu.
It's legit. Yeah. Well, I don't know. The flu this year is pretty bad too, so I think they're 1-1 this year. Unfortunately, they both suck. I don't want either one of them. I know in my defense, I have lined up the pills in the morning, the vitamin D, 5,000 milligrams, the vitamin C, the vitamin elderberry, the multivitamins, and vitamin DIM. All these different vitamins I have set my defense to try to not get COVID or the flu this year, because right now I definitely don't want to get them, because my wife is sitting in a neck collar after having ACDF surgery on her neck this past week, and I know she doesn't need to get sick while she's sitting in that collar, because that would be brutal as hell. Because her neck, they move. What they do in that surgery, Nick, they actually take your vocal cords and they slide them to the right, and they go behind your vocal cords, and they go and they operate on your spine as your vocal cords are leaned over to the side. So what do you think her throat feels like? Not so good. Imagine that with the flu or even COVID.
You're in charge for a minute. I'll be right back.
Yes, I'm in charge. As the camera is on that TJ's team car, one of the TJ's team cars. We have a couple of them out there tonight. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. Welcome to the Ghostfire Media broadcast of the TNR series, sponsored by the Guitar Addict. Guitar Addict is a guitaraddict.com. Guitar Addict is a guitar shop, so if you are a musician and you're looking for great guitars, please check them out, guitaraddict.com. They'll also be, I know they're going to be at the Orlando Guitar Show this year. The Orlando Guitar Show is coming up in just 2 weeks at the Central Florida Fairgrounds, where they'll have hundreds of dealers from all over the world, not just U.S., but all over the world, from Canada, England, Japan, all over. So it's a great time. "41 seconds remain in practice before we go to qualifying to see who's going to be on the pole tonight and who is going to have the best shot at moving on to the round of 10 tonight here at Michigan." This is not one of those favorite tracks for a lot of people. As we've already discussed, that this could go either way, good or bad. And hopefully we're going to see a good race tonight. A lot of guys will draft and be able to make their passes doing this, can't say it, slingshot move. I don't know why I can't spit that out, but I could. All right, practice is over. We're going to go to qualifying here in just a second. We're just waiting for the switch over, and we'll get to see some of the drivers go out and qualify. First lap should be the fastest. I don't believe the advantage of the second lap will be anything tonight. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it is not. Tonight, I don't believe it will be. I think the second lap will be just a hair slower. As we're watching the 53 go out on the track right now, we'll see how well that 53 does, which is Kevin Delia. Delia gets the car up to almost speed. It takes a little bit for the cars to get up to speed. Usually, as the car will go down the back straightaway, usually into turn 3, the car is pretty close to full speed, and he'll come and he'll approach the line. He'll start his first lap. Let the car drift up towards the wall. Some guys, you'll see some guys will actually ride that wall for the first lap. Sometimes it is an advantage, sometimes it is not. Kind of like Daytona or Talladega. Lets the car drift off. He'll get close to the wall, down the back straightaway. I'm having a problem with my S's today. Car drifts to the bottom of the track. Just kind of close to the line, as he possibly can. They'll drift out and back towards the start-finish line for his first lap. And his first lap will be a 39.94. Denson, sitting behind Richard Slavely, who we talked about earlier, is sitting third. Feltz is fourth, and Charlie Harcum is in that sixth position. Actually, Casey Swatch actually has taken the pole position right now away from Delia. Let's see how Delia reacts to see if he can actually pick it up, or is it going to be like I thought it was going to be. The first lap would be the fastest lap. Pulls it all the way down to the grass, and nope, it was no faster. Nope, no faster at all. Denson has taken the pole position now. Charlie Harcum out of nowhere. So actually, some of these guys are actually pulling up some better times in their second laps. Delia was not able to, but some of these guys are finding some speed that they didn't have in their first laps. Now, like I said, some of these guys may have gone out there and run that higher line that first lap to try to build some momentum in those tires and the air and everything in the car, just to try to see if they can do any better. And number 2 out there running around, and that's Gibbs. Gibbs right now sitting 9th on the grid. See if he can pick up his time from a 41.56 and see if he can make it any better than it was. Middle of the track right now. I don't think that's going to help him at all. He's got to get that car down lower. He'll come back to the line, and let's see if he does pick it up at all. I don't believe he's going to be able to. No, he does. Yeah, he actually, maybe a tick. Not much. Not enough to make a difference. Joe Sanchez in that 55. We always see him. He's always a fast driver. Sanchez out on the track, looking like Jimmy Johnson of old. First lap comes out at a 40.06. See if he can pick it up on his second lap. Still running kind of a higher groove. You see a lot of guys that will run that lower groove on their second lap. He is running a little higher than some of the other cars that we've seen tonight. He'll bring it down closer to the line this time. Still just about a quarter of the way up the track. Let it drift off the track. Car gets actually a little loosey-goosey. He'll bring it down all the way to the bottom of the track, down towards the grass, and his second lap will move him all the way to third, a 39.77. So it's Harcum, Jesse Prize is second, and Sanchez will sit third as we look at Chip Easley is fourth, and Casey Sawatch sitting fifth. And that, I didn't talk a little bit about the 27 car, but the 27 car, the numbers on the car remind me a lot of KISS. Right now we've got the number 7 out there. That's our Dylan Hastings. Hastings' first lap actually was fast enough for the pole. 39.71. Usually we see him in the Brandt Chevrolet. Tonight we're not seeing him in a Brandt car. We got him in Tire Pros. So a little different look for Dylan tonight. Brings it back to the line. He's going to get all the way down to the bottom of the track, almost to the grass. He'll come across.
And he actually does improve his lap.
Wow, look at that.
To a 39.67. David Brackett, he had a pretty fast first lap. A 40.07 puts him 13th. He's trying to improve here. He's going through 3 and 4 this time. We'll keep an eye on him. As he slides up the racetrack, he's going to lose a ton of time. He's not going to get any faster this time. He slid all the way up through 3 and 4.
Way out of the groove.
Brackett doesn't improve. Goes to a 40.121. Nowhere near as fast as he needed to be. We'll take a look at Wyatt Brackett now on the 10. Eric Schaefer looked to be pretty fast on his first lap. Unable to complete it. And on his second lap, Eric Schaefer, he crossed the start-finish line with a 39.598. You saw that on the bottom of your screen. Eric Schaefer, look at the left of your screen, is your new leader.
Oh, look at that. He was fast in practice, so not surprising at all.
Kyle Benson goes third. Charlie Harcum goes fourth.
The surprise now sitting fifth.
Taking a look at Eric Schaefer on his second lap out of turn 4 down the front stretch. Crosses the start-finish line.
Does not improve.
Does not improve.
Didn't really matter, though. He was still fast on his first lap, so.
Heck of a qualifying for him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's obviously found something that a lot of people have not. Is that gonna? Are they everybody through? We still got a couple going. I believe we are done.
We have 3 more.
Oh, we have 3 more. Okay. Oh, okay. There we go.
You're in charge for now. I have to stop talking. My throat's killing me. I'm just going to produce.
All right. So right now out on the track, that the 76 car is out on the track right now. Look at that. Watch him get around the track and see how he does. Tony Kevitt. And they are in driver's meeting already. '42 car out on the track right now. He's the last of the last. Actually, the 42 is pulled off. That was Bishop. 24th on the grid. Drivers' meeting is going on as we speak. Just going over the rules. Making sure everybody knows what is happening. I'll kind of be quiet here so I can see if I can learn anything. So they have let everyone know that this is a cutoff race and to be aware of the drivers who are trying to get to that next position or next round. So kind of be aware of your surroundings, and we'll see if that actually helps at all, because we got these drivers out here, the other people are trying to win races and just trying to have a good, run here, trying to get points. So,
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your official grid. Eric Schaefer on pole, Dylan Hastings in second, Kyle Benson in third, Charlie Harcum fourth, Jesse Prees fifth, Joe Sanchez in sixth, Kip Easley seventh, Tyler Murray in eighth. Back in ninth is going to be Tony Kivitt. 10th going to be Casey Sonch. 11th Jacob Denson. 12th Brandon Banks. Back in 13th we're going to have Wyatt Brackett. 14th Swaverly. 15th Delia. 16th Matt Grenier. 17th Scott Phelps. 18th David Brackett. 19th Dana Shepard. 20th Jason Hastings. 21st James Kunkel. 22nd Daniel Holdcroft. 23rd Michael Newbrough. 24th Chris Bishop. 25th Jeremy Gibbs. 26th Ray Rogers. 27th Austin Reedy. 28th Cody Kinsey. And rounding out the field in 29th will be Stephen Ayers Jr.
All right, that is the grid, and brought to you by Nick Adams.
And that'll be the last you hear of me for a little bit.
For a little while. He's going to be in and out throughout the night, but for the most part, you're going to hear a lot of me, as I said. And you'll have to put up with that. So, a lot of, I have done hundreds and hundreds of races, real races. And most of the races I called throughout my career, most of them, the most laps I ever did was like 100 around a very short track. That was kind of it. But the norm was normally 15, 25 laps. When we get into these big tracks like this, and as many laps as we're going to do tonight, I may be quiet at times, folks. Just because I want to be able to, I have to go to work tomorrow, and I have to speak to people all day long. So, if I let it breathe a little bit, don't panic. All right? Just giving you a heads up. Can't call all the action all the time, but we'll do our best. Mr. Producer, I would like a grid view or a tower cam. I've got a producer tonight. I have there we go, bingo. So 125 laps will set up the field tonight. That's going to make the distance tonight. Eric Schaefer on the pole with Dylan Hastings is outside. Benson on the row 2 with Charlie Harcum to his outside. Jesse Prize and Joe Sanchez will be row 3. Kip Easley and Murray will make up row 7 and row 8, excuse me. And row 9 would be Kivett and Casey Swatch. Green flag is out. We are racing here in Michigan tonight. As the field makes her way down towards turn number 1, Schaefer pulls up to the top of the track. He'll bring him to the outside line. He'll pull it to the middle of the groove. And they've left behind them. I can't believe that Dylan Hastings got such a terrible start. He's fallen all the way back to 4th already. We've got people touching the wall already, getting a little of that outside line, a little too close for comfort. And Benson right behind Schaefer, Benson, Prize, Hastings, Easley, Harcum, Sanchez, Murray, Kevett, and Sawatch. And that back behind them, really 6th place, 7th, 8th, 9th, it's all just a hornet's nest. So everybody is all over the place trying to get that position back there. As Schaefer is trying to pull away from Benson, a 1-2 car length lead. Then it's another 1-2 back to Jesse Prize, who Jesse's in a new paint scheme tonight. We're not used to seeing him in that color of a car as well. Got a little bright green, purple, a few other colors back there, blue, turquoise. As they come across the line to complete lap 3, Schaefer now is starting to stretch out that lead by 1, 2, 3, 4 lead. 4 cars, excuse me, my nose is itching. Very strange. We are looking at our board here. As you look at it too, we're seeing drivers that do not have numbers, and that is strange for us. But as long as we know who is running where, we should be fine, right? We can watch the car. We definitely see 35 is the leader. Hey, there it is. Producer Nick now behind the scenes, making sure everything is good for me. Trying to make my job as easy as possible. So far, we've been pretty clean so far. No one's really made any moves to get too aggressive. 4 laps down out of 125. You're watching racing on the Ghostfire Media Network if you're just joining us. Good battle back for 9th right now. You got Denson, Brackett, and Murray back there as well. And all these guys are back here just fighting. Murray's got a little breathing room from them. But that 9th place, Charlie Harcum right there in that 28 in the middle of the action. You see him on the outside. And down on the inside, you see that green number 10. That's Brackett. Brackett down on the bottom trying to clear Charlie Harcum. Charlie's drifts up to the back of the top of the track. He'll tuck back in line. Now we've got the conga line forming once again. See Casey Swatch back there. You see our buddy Richard Swavely. Richard Swavely trying to make his way into the next round in that Tabasco car. Number 3 back there. That's a good looking car. That was a really good looking car. Uncle. Good looking car. And he's right behind. I mean, Casey Swatch. I mean, Casey's just trying to keep in front of him, and I don't know, that may become a battle here as the 3 is looking underneath the 27. Well, last week we talked about we weren't sure what was on the side of Casey's car, and we thought it was a flag, and then we finally figured out it was Bacon, because they call him Bacon. So Mr. Bacon is bringing the bacon around the track, running a little ways back, not too far, but got a lot of time to go. A lot of laps here at Michigan and lots of time. We're going to have some pit stops. I imagine we'll probably see pit stops tonight, probably somewhere in the 45-ish area where we'll start to see guys pull down and get some fuel and some tires and everything like that. Tires should probably end up being a factor probably around lap 18, somewhere like that for some of these guys, depending on the line. These guys like Casey here, who are running a little higher line, are trying to save their tires. I don't think they're going to see any fall off from their times anytime until probably around lap 13, 14. I think we'll probably see some major drop-offs. Oh, one car up against the wall, just kind of tagging it. The 11 car. That is the Phelps car. And now he's brought it down. Now he's starting to challenge that 3 for that position. Maybe he was knocking the car to where the spoiler worked a little better. Gave him a little, maybe extra looseness, because sometimes you want the car a little looser to make these moves, and he's definitely got something down there. He pulls down to the bottom of the 3 of Kunkel, and it did not stick. Maybe next time. You see the cars are going to draft a little bit. They are, you say, are they drafting? Really? They are. Yes, they are getting a little bit of draft. Unfortunately, with Michigan, it's very hard to pass, even though you are drafting. It's one of the bad things about this track. It's not an easy track to pass. You really have to work to make things happen. As you see that Phelps car trying to make it work down there at the bottom. He's got the 11 side by side with the 3. And is it going to stick? And I think he's going to actually lose a position if he doesn't get in line. And he saw that was going to happen. And he pulled it right up in front of the 15 and stopped his momentum. And that 15 of Grenier had to figure out what he was going to do there. And here goes the 11 again. Phelps is really, he wants that spot. He wants to get around that 3 because he keeps getting that draft, and it's pushing him to where he can get up to the side of the 3, but he can't make the pass. And this time, I don't know if he's going to be able to get back in line. He doesn't do it soon. He's going to lose a spot to Grenier. But Grenier, here goes Grenier. He's going to do the exact same thing. He's going to dive to the bottom of Phelps and see if he can get around Phelps. Side by side with that position. Grenier gets a better run. He may actually be able to make it work, but he better do it soon. No, he's going to actually go and try to get around the 3. And Phelps is going to tuck him behind him, thinking maybe the 2 of them can run better together to get around the 3. And Grenier has, well, almost. He was almost around him, but they're still side by side. Grenier and Phelps are trying to team up. Now it looks like maybe Grenier might be in trouble of losing that spot, because now he's down on the bottom and Phelps is trying to work that outside line. He's got help. And as we're talking about, we've got another car, a whole group of cars. So it's almost 3 wide around here. The 39 now is coming into play here. So this whole group here is actually making the racing exciting. Definitely making some exciting racing going on here with that 39 popping into the picture. making their way down the back straightaway. 30, I said 39. I should have said 38. It's actually 39. 38, not 39. And that's the other bracket car. The brothers, the bracket brothers. Here they go, three wide with bracket down low and Phelps in the middle and Grenier on the outside. I think that is that. No, that's not Grenier. That's the 15 on the outside there. My gosh, they are. This is the kind of racing I was hoping we're going to have. Some aggressive racing here for a second, and that's exactly what we're seeing. They are fanned out all around the track tonight here in Michigan, as it looked like, I don't know what that was there. That was kind of strange, as Grenier had to jump evasively to the bottom of the track to try to get around the three. They're 2x2 as they come off the turn 2 and down the back straightaway here in Michigan. Making their way, fanned out still. Grenier is still tucked in behind that three. And you got Phelps back there. And then you have the bracket car back there. And he's got the, I believe it's a 56 to his outside of Newbraw. Whoa, trouble. The 30 bracket is in the wall. Newbraw's in the back of him. We got 2 or 3, 4 or 5 cars involved in this one back there. Big time trouble here on lap 17 here at Michigan. Several cars involved in this. Looks like the 93 may have had a piece of this as well. We'll have to go back and see what happened here. It looked like, from my vantage point, it just looks like the bracket, the 38 bracket, actually got turned, and he went straight into the wall. I don't know if he was trying to come up the track to try to get in line. Not really sure. We'll wait for the tail of the tape to be played back here. Here we go. There he is. And, several cars involved in this. Not sure how that happened, but like I said, it looked like he got turned. Oh, gosh, the 42. The 2 TJ teams, I think, cars actually got involved in that one. And look at the onboard camera. Oh, yes. From the 42. That was not very pretty at all. I'll tell you what. That 42, Christopher Bishop. I mean, he had nowhere to go, and he pretty much ran right into that bracket car. So under caution for the first time tonight here at Michigan International Speedway on the Ghost Fire Media Network, Randy Pepper, alongside a kind of silent Nick Adams tonight. Nick is battling with the terrible thing called COVID that is running rampant once again throughout the States and Europe as we speak. The only place that's not going rampant, believe it or not, is Africa. Why does Randy know this weird fact? Well, I have kind of studied the little stuff. But anyways, yeah, Africa doesn't have it. They did, but they somehow beat it. But we have it, and it is up a lot. I think up 80% right now. So if you haven't got COVID yet, you're probably going to get COVID. So prepare. All right, we're going to take a short break. You guys stick around. We'll be right back here in the Ghostfire Media Network. Hi, I'm Randy from the Guitar Addict. Can we be serious for a second? Are you tired of being a loser? Can't do anything right? Feel like everyone's coming down on you all the time? Well, there's a way out. And I'm going to show you. Hey Mom, look what I learned. That's right. Pick up a guitar, learn how to play guitar. Automatically you're going to become a chick magnet. The ladies are going to love you. Your kids are going to think you're cool. So what you need to do is come down here to the Guitar Addict, 1672.5 Ridgewood Avenue in Daytona Beach, Florida, or go on guitaraddict.com and buy yourself a guitar and automatically be the star of your neighborhood. That's guitaraddict.com. Back here on the Ghostfire Media Network, Michigan International Speedway, the TNR series is racing tonight. Pace car brings the field around 2x2, side by side, door handle, lug nut to lug nut. Pace car pulls off. We're going back to green flag racing. Here they go. They'll bring it up. Schaefer and Benson on the front row right now. They'll bring them back to the line. Green flag is out. Whoa. We got cars in the wall back there, stacking them up. We may have it. Oh, we got two cars going around. One car goes down. We got. Oh boy, the 93. I don't believe this is going to bring out the caution though, because it is off the track. So I think we're still going to stay green. And since that's going to be green, Schaefer is off to the races by himself. Let's see if anybody can pick up his draft and get a little sniff off the back of that 35 car. Benson's going to try to. Benson trying to track him down. As you see Dylan Hastings way up the track with Jesse Prize up there as well. Jesse's in the back of his trunk. And you see Kevin in that 76 trying to get a little sniff as well. Schaefer will bring the car to the middle of the track. Benson's going to follow in tow down the back straightaway. And behind them, we got several cars, and Richard Slavely had to do evasive moves to get out of the way. He doesn't want his night to end. He's 1 point just out of the next round. So he's going to do everything he can to try to make it to that next round. The two leaders are trying to separate themselves from the rest of the field, and they're doing a good job of it. 0.62 ahead of third place, Jesse Prize. Oh, one car goes way to the bottom of the track. I'm not sure it looks like he got bounced, and not sure if he got into the wall down there. I don't think he did. But he definitely dropped off and got down off the grid. Now Schaefer's starting to separate himself from everyone else. Got a really good run. Pulls out to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 car length lead over Benson, who Benson was right behind him just a second ago. And now Schaefer has found something where he's pulled away. Those guys need to team up and try to reel him back in. You definitely don't want him just to run off and leave you alone. Kind of surprised we didn't see any pit stops, at least from the top half of the group. Guess these guys are really conserving their tires. Going to make sure they use every last inch of tire and fuel that they've got. See the whole mess of the guys behind our leaders fighting back for 5th place. Cavett, Hastings, Sanchez, Easley, Brackett, all of them are in a hornet's nest back there. That's where all the racing is actually happening right now, as Schaefer's just kind of leaving the rest of everybody behind them. Dylan Hastings, who started up there in 3rd, now has fallen all the way back to 5th. And he's really having to fight for that because he's got Sanchez all over him. You see Richard Swavely back there going inside, outside, just kind of all over the place, looking to try to find something that will work for him. Because he's got to stay with these guys. He's got to stay as close as he can to the front. Doesn't want to lose this draft and go too far back. As you see that number 8 of Easley pulling down to Sanchez. They're going to be side by side as they go into the turn. And you better watch out because you got the 53 of Delia. And try to get around that 8 car of Easley. 3 laps remain until the end of this stage. Battle for 11th right here. This is a good one with Brackett back there. Brackett has the 10th position. And here comes Richard Swavely, going to try to take it away from him. And he does at this point. And he might want to watch out. He's got to challenge himself. And he did. He lost it. Brackett is safe now back in the 10th position. But he's got Charlie Harcum back there. He's got the 56 right there with him. I mean, this is a good battle here. Brackett's got to hang on. One more time around until the caution will fly at the end of the stage. Richard Swavely needs to pick it back up again, try to get around Harcum. Need to get one more point here, buddy. Oh, he's in the wall. We got a couple cars together. Richard Swavely is involved in this. Yellow flag does come out, and that'll bring out the end of the stage, but we got a major one here. Not sure what exactly happened. I saw Swavely wiggle there, but several other cars are involved in this as well. Try to go back and look and see exactly what happened. There's Swavely in the wall. That's after the effect. I believe this is actually after it as well. And rewind it a little bit. Let's see here. This is coming off the turn. And from behind, Casey Sawatch gives him a little tap, gives him the whole tip. And here comes the whole field. They have no idea he's sitting there. And so far, try to look back and see what else happened here. There were more cars involved in this. You see Casey Sawatch go down there. Wow, he slammed that wall. As well as the 51 as well. Casey took that 27 and just like slammed it down. Bam. That rocked his head. He might need a little ADCF or ACDF surgery after that. I bet his neck feels a lot like that player last night from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that got nailed from behind at the very end of that game. I was able to just get off the air and watch the end of that football game last night between the Buccaneers and Dallas Cowboys. Was hoping the Buccaneers might do a little better than they actually did, but Dallas put a whooping on them, and more than likely we'll probably see Tom Brady say, "Adios, amigos, I'm done for the season and my whole career."
No, that's not happening.
Nick is chiming in.
Tom's
saying
going
no,
a lot. No, they can hear me now. Brady's going to Vegas.
You think Brady's going to go to
Brady's
Vegas?
going to Vegas.
Did you bet on that? Did you
No.
go to the you went to the South Point Casino at old Brendan Gaughan's place and said, "Hey, I want to lay some money down that Brady's coming to Vegas." Well, if he is, that's
He
good
doesn't
for him.
sound like he he doesn't
He's ready
sound like he played his last snap. He actually sound like he was excited to be done with Tampa.
You know, the way Tampa played last night, I'd be excited too.
The way Tampa played, the way his life went when he went to Tampa.
Yeah, that's true. His wife divorced him.
Speaking of crazy things that happened on the internet today, Antonio Brown surfaced again.
Oh, I hadn't heard him in a while.
Antonio Brown posted a picture of himself receiving something on Snapchat. That's as far as I'm going to go with that line of questioning.
I'm not even going to go that far. I
Yeah.
already know what you mean.
Yeah,
But
we're going to go any further with that line of questioning?
before we go any farther, let's just talk about what's going to happen here. We got the lights out on the pace car. The field is stacked up 2x2, 32 laps down of 125 laps. And we'll go into stage 2. And what lap are we
60.
looking at the end of this? Lap 60.
6-0, brother.
60. All right, pace car is ready to pull off here. And Schaefer and Benson going to bring them back to the green flag. And green flag is out. Here the green flag flies. Field gets on it. And once again, Schaefer pulls his car to the middle of the track and to the top. Seems like he likes starting low and then drifting high. There must be something to his magic. Field single file for the top 6 cars. Then got a little battle there between the 8 of Easley and Denson in the 79. Got Hastings back there. See if Hastings can do any better than he did last time. Last time he just kind of fell back. Not really sure if he can get any better this time. Watch this battle here. Charlie Harcum back there. Harcum's going to pull his car right up in front of Dylan Hastings. I was going to say, I'm looking back in the pack here. Richard Swavely doesn't look like he had that much damage because he's still moving around quite a bit in that 32 car. Every time I look at that 32, I always think it's a Pontiac, and I know it's not a Pontiac. It was at one time, but it's not now.
Randy, that hasn't been a Pontiac in 20 years, okay?
Exactly, but that's a paint scheme that a Pontiac drove. That's why it kind of brings me to thinking that's a Pontiac. But I know it's not a Pontiac. We don't have Pontiacs anymore. That's a Toyota.
Daniel Holdcroft has retired from the event. the number 4, was retired from the event due to blinking.
Blinking, huh?
He did not like that he was blinking as much as he was.
As we go back up towards the front of the pack, to all the way to the front of the pack. Schaefer in 35. Now second place, we have Joe Sanchez is your second place car, followed by Benson in that 69. Prize and Denson has now made his presence known in the 5th position. But Mr. Schaefer is showing the way, and it does appear that possibly Mr. Sanchez is reeling him in. Mr. Sanchez, show me your dream. La ba ba ba. Yes, kind of reminding me of the Halloween adventure. I don't know about you, but we have Valentine's Day coming up here, and I don't know if you've bought your significant other anything already for the holiday of Valentine's Day, but if you're here in the state of Florida, we have a great adventure called the Sir Henry's Haunted Valentine's. You can take your significant other through a haunted house based around Cupid. It's a great thing. Scare the crap out of your wife or your girlfriend, boyfriend for Valentine's. That's a good thing to do. Put an arrow right through their heart. Put that poison arrow through my heart. Yeah. So we're watching this battle here between the Brackett car. Mr. Brackett on the outside, and the number 10. A good battle with him towards the end of the stage. Now he's under fire once again. We'll go up a little towards the front. We've got Jesse Prize up there running in 4th. Denson right behind him, trying to get that 4th position from him, but it's a 1-2 car length advantage for Jesse Prize. Go back, we'll look at 6 here right now. Charlie Harcum with Kip. Harcum, Easley, Delia, and Reedy. Reedy now showing up in the top 10 for the first time tonight in that 96. Started. And wow, he's moved up 18 spots. Wow. 27th on the grid now. All the way up to 9th. Good night for him if he can continue it. You can do well all you want early in the race, but if you don't finish this good, then it means nothing. But so far right now, it looks really good for him. Delia has been, it seems like he's a little bit more aggressive than some of the other drivers. It really looks like he really wants something to happen tonight. Just watching him drive. And there goes Reedy. Look at this. The TJ's team car really on the move. We got 3 wide. Kip Easley on that outside. Kip's all by himself on the outside line. Nobody following him. It left him out to dry. Although now he's going to get a little help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in a good battle here. As you look at Reedy. Reedy got the Reedy motor in there, making that thing move. Only RC people will understand the Reedy reference to that. Delia shoved to the outside, Reedy down to the inside. They are side by side. Now just a quarter panel back. And Delia looks like he's going to be able to assume the position. As you see Grenier back there trying to get around that number 8 of Kip Easley. Kip and that Miller Lite paint scheme, and they're making their way around some slower traffic right now. And that was easy enough. Did you get that easily enough? All right, Delia now has caught up to Charlie Harcum. Harcum now is under attack. He's got a whole mess of cars right behind him that would like to get around Charlie in that 28. Let the cars fan out here. We'll get a little good view of everybody out here. Good view of the track. That is our flag man up there. I'm checking my notes to see who the flag man is tonight. No, Bagley could not fit on that stand, dude. Do you know you don't know Mike Bagley? Yeah. My producer just said, that's Mike Bagley. And I said, no, Mike Bagley cannot fit in that stand up there. Unfortunately, Mike is a bigger boy. And there's some of these stands I don't think he can fit in. I know Tyrone Shoelaces was one of our flagmen at one of the tracks. But tonight it's not him. Oh, they get in. Wow, Delia. Got a little easily in his side door. It looks like Bracken back there is looking like he's going to dirt dog a little bit as well. Charlie Harcum is just going, keep doing this, guys. Keep fighting back there, because as long as you guys fight, you won't be able to get around me. Now they've kind of subsided that and decided maybe we need to get in line, and we'll go around Charlie Harcum, and they're getting a good line. Kip Easley is getting a little momentum trying to get down to the bottom quarter panel of that 28 of Charlie Harcum. And it looks like everybody else is going to leave Kip Easley all by himself, and they will probably major on by him. Well, that lasted all of half a corner. Now they're fanned out once again. Charlie Harcum has fallen one position back, maybe might fall 2 positions back, as Easley was able to get around. Now he's got that 79 car, or no, excuse me, that 96 car of Reedy. One car back there tapped the wall. Yeah. Tyler Murray was the car that I saw that went into the wall. Got some major right side pancaking of that car. That's not going to be very aerodynamic, and that's going to probably force him to pit here before long. As you see, he's starting to lose positions one by one. Watching this battle once again with Charlie Harcum and Reedy. How would this one shake out? Kip Easley pulling away from them. Part of the 4 Horsemen team. Woo! And part of the Horsemen. I say that woo because Ric Flair was part of the 4 Horsemen back in the day. If you didn't know. if you will. As Dustin Rose used to say, if you will. Harcum got Delia now with him. Side by side, Harcum and Delia. And Harcum's in the wall. Oh, everybody behind him had to make evasive moves to get away from him. That, I don't know how much damage he got on it. He may not have had any damage, but he definitely got a piece of the wall. So that's telling me that car, the tires are definitely gone. Gone away, and he's just hanging on to it. Just trying to finish out this race tonight. So he's fallen out of the top 10. He's back to 11th. So we'll go back to this battle with the 8 of Easley and Reedy. And everyone behind him, Easley to the bottom of the track, Reedy to the top of the track. 52 laps down of 125. 60 will make up the distance for this stage. Easley keeps the car to the bottom of the track, not moving up. Thought he might have moved up and tried to block that Reedy car, but he hasn't. He's just trying to hold that line to the bottom, or car to the bottom line there. And nearly drifted up and got a piece of Reedy, but luckily he was able to pull the car away from that, so that was no touch, no harm, no foul. And he's got a whole mess of cars behind him. Kevitt, Hastings, and Delia. Delia is becoming the gnat that won't go away. Just when he's gone, he comes back again. Reedy was able to get around easily, so Kip falls one position back. Now he's trying to get some help from behind, but no help at all. They're just leaving him down there by himself. Looks like Easley may come up and help him. Now he's going to pull it back up and try to hold on to that position, because now he's under fire from Kevitt. Now they're single file. Delia pulls up in front of Hastings. Hastings pulls the car to the bottom of the track. Now you see the Easy car pulling down once again. Not quite sure what he wants to do. I'm sure he would like to get around. He's got 5 laps to go till the end of this stage. Delia's on the cutout point. And I'm not so sure he's going to be able to hold on to that, because he's got a whole host of cars behind him. Delia's got Grenier, Kinsey, Harcum. Well, Harcum probably is not going to be part of this, because he's falling like a lead brick. Four laps remaining. As Easy looks like he's going to lose another spot to Kevitt. And you see Kevitt down low, Easy up high. And Kevitt definitely is around him now. And he's nearly getting the tip from the back end. Easley was all over the back end. Easley is not willing to give that spot up. He wants that spot back. And I don't blame him. You know, he's trying to get the points, you know, go on as far as he can. Higher on the totem pole. 57 laps. We're looking at lap 60, the end of the stage. Few more times around the Michigan Speedway with Schaefer leading 0.80 ahead of Sanchez, Benson, Prize, Denson, Reedy, Kevitt, Easley, Hastings, and Delia. Your top 10 cars out here right now. And that looks kind of like a single file parade. I love a parade. Anybody go out to the parades yesterday for the MLK? I know a lot of them were around, all around the country yesterday. One more time around Michigan International Speedway for Schaefer, who's already won one stage, trying to make it number 2. Eric Schaefer is the man on the move. He's the only one that had clinched a spot into the next round, and he's just going to make it look like it's meant to be for sure. He'll bring him back to the line. He's going to bring out the caution once he crosses the line here, and there it is. Caution will come out here in just a second since we've completed 60 laps. Schaefer, Sanchez, Benson, Prize, Denson, Kevitt, Reedy, Easley, Hastings, and Delia will be your top 10. And we're going to take a short break. You guys stick around. You've been watching the race here at TNR League on the Ghostfire Media Network.
Hi, I'm Randy from the Guitar Addict. Can we be serious for a second? Are you tired of being a loser? Can't do anything right? Feel like everyone's coming down on you all the time? Well, there's a way out, and I'm going to show you. Hey Mom, look what I learned. That's right, pick up a guitar, learn how to play guitar. Automatically you're going to become a chick magnet. The ladies are going to love you. Your kids are going to think you're cool. So what you need to do is come down here to the Guitar Addict, 1672.5 Ridgewood Avenue in Daytona Beach, Florida, or go to guitaraddict.com and buy yourself a guitar and automatically be the star of your neighborhood. That's guitaraddict.com.
Back here at Michigan International Speedway, TNA Racing League. Racing on this beautiful Tuesday night. The field makes their way down pit road. Let's see who takes 2 tires, who takes 4. I think we're all going to take 4. I don't think there's any smart moves making 2 on this one, as this will be the final stage and see who makes it to the next round of the playoffs, the round of 10. Joe Sanchez overshoots his pit stop. Jesse Price overshoots his as well. That's not going to help those guys at all. If I sound like I'm eating something, I actually did eat a little cough drop there to ease my throat. And you can see that Joe Sanchez lost a lot of ground. Grenier but Grenier was able to get around him as well. I have a friend named Adam Grenier. That's why it rolled off my tongue so easy. We'll sort them out here, and we'll go back to green flag racing once again. So far, it's actually been a pretty clean race. We've only had one actual caution, and that's it. So it's been pretty clean. Don't forget the Daytona 500 is just coming up 1 month. Just basically 1 month and 1 week away at the World Center of Racing. NASCAR Racing will return and start their season over once again. You follow all the action on the radio. MRN will cover the action for the Daytona 500 this year. And as they move, I believe it goes to Atlanta, the second race, and then the PRN guys will take over for that one. And if you're in the Daytona Beach area, don't forget the Pit Road Pickers will be playing around the Daytona Beach area for that. That's myself and several other people that you will probably know. I'm not even going to go into it because I know my producer, Nick, hates it when I talk about the guys in the band. But you will recognize several of the guys in the band if you're a NASCAR fan. We will be playing at the first turn 2 nights, the Saturday before the 500 and the Thursday before the 500. Will also be at Tate and O'Brien's in New Smyrna Beach on that Tuesday before the 500. So yeah, the Thursday will be the night of the Twins, and we will actually be playing at the first turn. So come out and see Pit Road Pickers. If you don't see this area, I'm sure you'll find us at another track. All right, pace car has pulled off. We're going to go back to green flag racing. And we'll wait for the green. There it is. The green is out. The flag is waving away. And once again, Schaefer does his perfect start. That's all I can say. Starts low and drifts high and starts pulling away right off the bat. 1, 2, 3, 4 car lengths ahead of Benson. Then behind them, we got a good battle with Reedy. Reedy has now made his presence known in the top 3 as he was able to get around Denson. I wonder if Mr. Reedy might have something for the rest of the field. The rest of these 2 guys that he has to get around, Schaefer and Benson. Looked like Kip Easy might have just had a little reach out and touch somebody on the wall. And that is why we think he definitely got a piece of it. So he's starting to fall off the pace. A tough break for him. Kip has had a good night tonight in that Miller Lite Camaro. It's not a Ford. We're used to seeing Miller Lite on Fords, but tonight it's on a Camaro. Yeah, you can see it as in that position. You definitely see the right front has got a little dent in it. And that's where he tagged the wall. And you see the hood has definitely got a little bent. Quarter panel is definitely got some damage. That clip has probably got a little damage to it as well. And he's falling back. Tough break for him. Had a good night so far, but now that is, I bet he would like to have done this right before the caution came out, and then he could have got it fixed. Now all he's going to do is fall like a lead brick, as everybody and their brother is going to go around him, because he has no aerodynamics going on at all in that car. And you can see he is fighting that car at the time. Now he looks like, well, maybe I'll take it down to the bottom of the track here and see if I can get some clean air, and maybe that'll help it stabilize, and I can get around Charlie Harcum. And it's not going to stick. There's nothing you can do about that. Once a car has that much damage in a track that relies heavily on aerodynamics, you pull that out of the equation, not what you can do about it. You can see Charlie Harcum right in front of Kip. Got it down to the bottom of the track. Lets it drift up. He's got a host of people behind him. So move up the podium. We got Kivett, Hastings, and Prees. All of them, they're all up in this little battle here. Kivett was able to get around Jesse Prees. He's right there behind them, and that's 7. And they're trying to track down the 55 car of Joe Sanchez. Who actually, Joe fell back quite a bit of ways at the, after him not having a great pit stop. And he just disappeared there for a second. But he made his way up, and now he's under attack after making up all that ground. Reedy, I thought Reedy might have had something for these guys, but it looks like Reedy now has fallen back behind Denson. So Schaefer, Benson, and Denson. Benson. The Rhyming Brothers. I want to call this two the Rhyming Brothers now. Benson and Denson. For the people. Do you fall on a banana peel? Call the law office of Benson and Denson. It sounds like. Watching that Reedy car with Sanchez right behind him. Looked like Kevin and Prize and Hastings were going to reel in Sanchez, but they did not. As you see Sanchez trying to reel back in that Reedy car and see if he can get around him. It's about a 1 car length advantage to Reedy. Now it's actually 2, excuse me. Camera played tricks on me. 72 laps down of 125. We're just kind of listening to the race and not paying attention. Because otherwise, if you're paying attention, you would just be able to look at the leaderboard and you understand that there's only 73 laps down at 125. If you're out there watching the race right now, who was your favorite before the race started? Now we've seen Schaefer. Schaefer's been the man since the drop of the green flag. But did you have a favorite out there? Were you looking to? Did you think that maybe, Reedy was the man? Maybe Sanchez was the man that was going to actually be able to win this race tonight? Everyone has their favorite. I can tell you right now, Schaefer's the man. No doubt about it. His battle here. Sanchez and Reedy. Reedy's just barely ahead of Sanchez. Sanchez is looking for some clean air down there. He's going to tuck in behind him. Now he's looking the outside. Going to see if something works on the outside. He'll pull it right up behind that 96 car. Trying to get that run. He takes that outer line and then looks in behind him. But so far, nothing has happened. Got a battle back here. This is a pack a little farther back, more of really the second pack of cars kind of running together with Brackett out in front of those guys, trying to lead them around. Here's in the pole. mess. Dealey is in there. Grenier is in there. Matt Grenier in that 15 car. Team 207. I'm not really sure what Team 207 stands for. See all these guys running around. You got that 11 car in the middle of this. Phelps, who we talked about earlier on, he was in another major battle. Delia now has fallen back to the 12th position. He'd been running in the top 10 most of the race tonight. Now has fallen out of that top 10. Looks like Grenier's under charge now from the 93 of Kinsey. Kinsey pulls the car all the way to the bottom of the track. And will he clear Grenier? Going to try to suck up behind, get some of that bracket draft. That air from their bracket pulls the car up, and that gives Grenier a little bit of sniff. So these two are definitely using the 10 as a pick, and Grenier gets the better sniff. Single file, and bracket behind him, Grenier, Kinsey, Delia, Phelps. I believe that's Charlie Harcum back behind him as well. Kip Easy is back behind them and just kind of hanging on for dear life until he can pit and get that thing fixed. This group back here, these guys are roughly 6 seconds back behind the leader right now. Single file, here they go. Got a lot of racing left, so you're probably not going to see a lot of crazy racing right now. 80 laps down. NASCAR season is starting in just a month and a half, like I said. Early projections for a champion next year. I'm predicting Kyle Busch is going to win the championship. Yes. Let's go.
Coming out of left field. Coming out of left field. The producer's going to talk. Are you ready? 2023 champion, Alex Bowman.
Okay, Alex Bowman. All right, so producer Nick said Alex Bowman is going to win the championship. I said weird thing is going to happen. For some odd reason, Kyle Busch is going to win this thing. Do I really believe that? No, I don't. Prediction, Chase Elliott, really. Chase Elliott's going to have a good year this coming year, and I think he's going to actually do something. It's going to look a lot like Schaefer is right now. Schaefer's out to a 0.4 ahead of Benson. And Benson's kind of comfortable right now. He's about a 0.50 in front of Denson. And then Denson's kind of sitting there with Reedy and Sanchez and all them. I wish somebody could explain to me what these little memes are about this cop. Have you seen these things? Every time I pop up something with this girl cop. And I'm not sure she didn't do something wrong, but I don't know. I don't follow the news that much. If it doesn't have something to do with sports, I usually don't know what's going on. That and COVID. And that's just because I follow Dr. John Gordon. If you want to know a lot about COVID and stuff and different world diseases and stuff, Dr. John Gordon on YouTube will keep you up to date. So, Nick, you should follow him. That way, if you'd been following him, you would have known that you should have been taking lots of vitamin D, elderberry. Yeah, I am just telling you, if you follow up on these great things, all these pro tips, I'm telling you, you probably will be safe for a while. As you see this battle here, Brackett now is under major fire. Kinsey was able to get around him. You got Delia right there, Grenier. But Brackett fighting back. Brackett doesn't want to give that spot away. He wants to hold on to 10th all he can. And out of nowhere, Delia comes up there with Kinsey. And they are able to shove Brackett out of the way. And they are able to take that spot away from him. They brought Phelps with them, Grenier. And what in the world is he doing? Kinsey just run into the wall. The air must have gone away and it just shoved him right up into the wall. You see Grenier and Phelps now fighting. Charlie Harcum out of nowhere coming back. And here comes the 8 of Easley. We know he's already got damage. And where did he come from? With a damaged car. Grenier is actually getting passed by him as well. Wow. But your top 10 right now is Schaefer, Benson, Reedy, Denson, Sanchez, Kevitt, Prize, Hastings, Delia, and Phelps. That makes up your top 10 tonight at lap 86 out of the 125. And you see Kinsey right there behind the Phelps car. Looks like he just gave him just a little bit of a shove. Pushed him out to be a half a car length ahead of him. I'm hoping tomorrow to post a video up on my Florida Fun and More page on YouTube. If you want to follow me on YouTube, I have a channel that covers different fun things to do in the state of Florida and elsewhere outside, other states that I visit during my times when I work in the world of racing. And my video this week, there we go, another car scrubbing the wall. This week we will talk about the surgery my wife just had, the ACDF. So if you're having nerve damage and you have, some major pain in your neck and your arms and stuff, you may need that surgery. And if you want to know what it's like to have this surgery, I did a document of her talking about what it feels like before and after, and I'm hopefully going to post that tomorrow on Florida Fun and More on YouTube. So please like and subscribe to the channel and help my channel grow. We got to get her better. We're going to go on a cruise on the Carnival Mardi Gras in the end of April. As we're watching this conga line, all around we got a two-car battle back here. A little farther back in the pack. Between the 56 and the 54. It's Newbraw and Banks. Back up here once again, looking at Kinsey. And Delia. Seems like this is probably the the most battling right now anywhere on the track. It just, like I said earlier on, anytime you're looking at Delia, you know there's going to be some moves happening. He's just a little bit more aggressive and more anxious than a lot of the drivers out. He really wants that car to do well tonight. Watching them do this racing here. Cody and Kevin. You see the Kevin pulling away a little bit, trying to get a little breathing room. Because he's under fire. Back here to Easley. Now he's got Grenier right there with him. He was able to get around Grenier a little while back, and now it looks like Grenier's ready to take that position back from him. It's looking back at the 13th and 14th position on the track. You guys have had kind of an up and down season. We talk about them usually every week, but not for a long part of the race usually, because they seem to run well and then kind of fall back out of the whole thing. As you look at Schaefer, Eric Schaefer out of Hampton, Virginia. Drinking Brothers number 2 team. Kind of a familiar face with us, let's just say that. We see a lot of Eric at the front of the pack every week. And that's why he's like the only guy that has moved on to the round of 10 already. Sealed his fate. And you see him pulling down to the bottom of the track, going to get maybe some tires, maybe just a little fuel to make it to the end of the race. He'll be the first one to pull off. Or maybe he got a phone call and he's got to pull over. Wife called and said, hey, I need you to go get some milk at the store for me. Let's hope that's not what happened, because he's the only one pulling down. Pulls down. The car goes up on the right side. They're going to get 2 right side Goodyear tires on that side. Left side go up, 2 more Goodyear tires on the other side. Got a full tank of fuel, and back out on the track he goes. 14.9 pit stop. Not the quickest, but not the slowest. See where he shuffles back. Right in front of the leaders. He's on the tail end of the lead lap. Reedy now is your new leader in that 96. And Reedy looking like he's going to come down. He does. Gets on the binders hard. Easily out there. We'll keep an eye on all these guys to see who is going to hit and who is not this time around. Easily is still out on the track. See a lot of cars coming off pit road now to rejoin. Delia was one of those cars. Kip Easley is your leader. Grenier second. Shepard Ayers. Schaefer now has shuffled it back around. Now he's fourth. I believe Kinsey needs to pit soon. Him and Grenier need to get in ASAP. But we'll look and see if maybe they pit this time, because the way Schaefer has already moved up to fourth position. Not sure why Kinsey is staying out as long as he is. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he thinks he has an advantage staying out later, and he can make those 4 new tires work and make his way back around, gain some extra position. Sometimes it does work on some tracks. I don't know if it works that well on this type of track. This is a really big track. Sometimes these bigger tracks, stuff like that does not work. Usually on these 1.5 miles, really it makes a big difference. You see Schaefer went around it. So Kinsey right now is losing about 1.5 seconds to Schaefer. So he can stay out a few more laps, but I don't think it's going to help him. I think it's going to be a disadvantage to him. So I'm not really sure what he is trying to gain by doing this. Really just losing ground more than he's gaining ground. Other than he can say, I led a few laps out front. That's pretty much all it is right now. He's not, you can see the cars that have already pitted are definitely going around him or right up on him, and these guys that were even farther back in the pack than he was. Some of these cars even have damage. See the other bracket car going around it. This is basically a 15-second lead over Schaefer, but that's going to be going here shortly. He needs to pit soon. He probably got maybe 1 or 2 more laps before he's going to have to be forced to pit. And after this thing all shakes out, where Kinsey was running towards closer to the top 10 with 23 laps remaining, I'm not sure he's going to see a top 10 tonight. But I have been wrong before. But I think he just stayed out a little too long tonight. What popped in my head, all I can hear is she works hard for the money for some odd reason. Mentioned Dylan Hastings back there running 6th. See Joe Sanchez running 3rd right now. Joe having another good night in that 55. Car in the middle groove around the track. 21 laps remaining. Kinsey still out front. We're still waiting for his pit stop to happen here. Unless he found something that nobody else found. Sanchez all by himself. There's Schaefer. Schaefer shortly going to be the leader. Trust me. Going to happen here shortly. We're watching it. Watch back behind them. You see Dylan Hastings back there. Hastings and Reedy running together. And there goes the pit stop. Kinsey is in the pits, and he will fall like a brick, and we'll see where he actually ends up at the end of this race. So Schaefer has reassumed the lead. So Schaefer, Sanchez, Breeze, Denson, Reedy, Hastings, Kevitt, Benson, Wide Brackett, and Charlie Harker. Lost something in my notes. Where did they go? So you see them single file. Right now you watching that 96 car. He's got Denson right behind him. So for a while there we had Denson and Benson running together. Now those two have separated themselves. Jesse Prize has done a little better. He's actually moved up a couple spots. He ran 5th for a while. Now he's up to 3rd. So trying to have a better night. Joe Sanchez, no surprise to me that he's running 2nd. None at all. Schaefer, no surprise at all. He's out front as well. If I was to look at this hole up here towards the front, I think Dylan Hastings is probably the most surprising person up there. It seems like Dylan just never has good luck this far into a race. He runs really well towards the front of the races, and then as the race goes on, it seems like he'll find some calamity along the way, or just won't have the car that he needs to have. But tonight, looking really good, running in the 7th or 6th position, excuse me. Little battle there. Jesse Prize, who's running in the 3rd position, under attack and will get passed by Reedy. So just as he was having a good 3rd place, he's going to fall back into the 4th position unless he can get a good draft and try to get around Reedy. Reedy looks like he's on a mission. He's on a mission from God. Are you race car drivers? No, ma'am. We're on a mission from God. And just like that, Reedy is now turning up the wick. He's going to try to reel in Joe Sanchez. He's falling back, and now he's just saving his tires. 1, 2, 3, 4 car lengths back behind Sanchez. And looking back behind here, we got a battle between the 79 and the 7. Hastings and Denson. Almost sounds like another law firm, Hastings and Denson. Did you slip and fall at your local Walmart? Or did you slip on your pajamas while you were shopping? I'm not going to call Hastings and Denson. And like that, Denson does get around Hastings. But not quite the switcheroo here, as Hastings says, I'm not quite ready. And he goes up alongside him and will retake the position. So good battle here. Hastings not willing to give away 5th quite yet. And here we go again. Denson pulls down to the bottom of the track. They'll be side by side as they go across the line. 13 laps remaining in the race. Will Denson would be able to clear him as they come off of turn 2? He will, but let's see if Hastings does yield inside outside again. This time he's just going to suck up behind him. They go down the back straightaways right behind him. Pulls the car to the bottom of the track and try to do it again. This time, not enough momentum. So he'll have to settle for second or sixth right now. As the battle for second has heated up as Reedy has turned on the afterburners and got around Joe Sanchez, but he's got a long ways to go before he catches Eric Schaefer. Eric Schaefer is now 2.64 seconds ahead of second place Reedy. Wow. Unless something drastic happens, Eric Schaefer has decided he has moved into Margaritaville and has his own zip code. Reedy has got around Schaefer, and he is pulling away by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 car lengths. And that's another 3 back to Jesse Prize. The night is getting late, I can tell you that. It's 10:32 here on the East Coast. A big thumbs up. Battle for 5th back here with Hastings and Denson. Hastings had fallen back to the 6th position. Now he wants that 5th back. That outside line. Trying to make it work to his advantage. Don't know if the car behind them will help either one of these two. It's Kevitt back there in his Diet Coke machine. Hastings now is pulling away by 2 car lengths over the Denton car. 8 laps remain. Denson gets a good run that time. Closes in on Hastings, looks to the bottom of the track. But they may both of them might get past themselves by Kevitt. Kevitt out of nowhere has shot his car up there to become part of this whole party here. Trying to shove his car into the back of the Hastings car. Now he dives to the bottom of a 3-car battle, and he almost gets into the side of Denson. And Denson says, I need to get up here and get out of this groove here so I don't get hit by Mr. Kevin. And he nearly took out Hastings' car. Little breathing ground now. I don't believe Dylan Hastings is going to sit there back behind Denson for very long. And I'm sure when he decides to make his move, he's going to bring Kevin with him. Kevin looking to the inside. Denson pulls the car down to the bottom, leaves a little bit of room, giving Hastings a little clean air. But no, it is going to be the time and place. And see, just like that, you see the Kevin car falling right behind Hastings. You go down the back straightaway into turn 3. Hastings does get around. Just barely gets around them, and Kevin out of nowhere. Now they're 3 wide. Kevin is able to get around both of them, at least for the time being. Kevin was back there just stalking these 2 guys and was able to get around them. Now you see Denson pulling his car to the bottom of the track. Now he'll have to pull it back up behind Hastings, and Kevin is pulling away. Dylan Hastings sat at 5th for a while, and then he had Denson pass him, and really Kevin was nothing to them. He was just kind of a blip behind them on their mirror. And now, with 4 laps remaining, he's pulling away from both these guys in 5th position. As we sit here and watch this battle up front, Schaefer, Reedy, Prize, Sanchez, and then back here to Kevin, Hastings, and Denson. So Schaefer has been the man. To be the man, you have to beat the man. And so far in the last 2 races, he has a little touch and go there between Denson and Hastings. But Eric Schaefer has been the man the last 2 races. Trying to make his dominance being known. He was already locked into the round of 10. Now with 3 laps remaining, a 2.3 second lead over second place Reedy. And that lead has not shrunk at all over the last 15 laps. Denson going to try again to get around the Hastings car. Dylan all the way to the back, or all the way to the top of the track. Now he's right to the back bumper of Denson. Going to follow him as they make their way down the back straightaway. You see Sanchez popped into the picture there for a second with Kevin. White flag is up. And there is your leader, Eric Schaefer, who has been dominant the whole entire race. Won both the first and the second stage. And he's going to make it the grand finale of tonight's race. He's going to take the grand finale flag, which would be that checkered flag, as he makes his way into 3 and off into 4. Off of 4, down to the checkered line. He will bring it, and he's going to win here at Michigan tonight in the TNR on the GFM race tonight. And coming in second is Reedy, Praise, Kevin, Sanchez. Hastings will follow 7th. Benson will be 8th. And coming in 9th, it's going to be Feltz, and Delia will round out your top 10 tonight. Wow. Eric Schaefer, domination at its finest.
All right, everybody. You get to hear me for 30 seconds because I am very slowly and quickly dying. Your winner tonight, Eric Schaefer in second, Austin Reedy third, Jesse Prees fourth, Tony Kivett fifth, Joe Sanchez sixth, Jacob Denson seventh, Dylan Hastings eighth, Kyle Benson ninth, Scott Feltz 10th, Kevin Delia 11th, Wyatt Brackett 12th, Charlie Harcum 13th, Matt Grenier 14th, Dana Shepard 15th, Cody Kinsey 16th. It's going to be Kip Easley 17th, Michael Newbra 18th, Brandon Banks. Back in 19th is going to be Jeremy Gibbs 20th, David Brackett 21st, Stephen Ayers 22nd, Chris Bishop 23rd, James Kunkel 24th, Tyler Murray 25th, Jason Hastings 26th, Casey Saich 27th, Richard Swaverly 28th, Daniel Holdcroft and 29th, Ray Rogers. Whilst he is performing his burnout, we're going to pull Mr. Schaefer up here. Sorry, I almost sneezed, everybody. I apologize. We're going to pull Mr. Schaefer up here whilst he's doing his burnout, as we only have time to pull up the winner here this evening. Let's talk with Mr. Eric Schaefer here in the booth. Eric, it's Nick and Randy up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Domination, we should call you now, man. You led every stage tonight and then took it home by a 2.4 second lead at the end there. No one really had anything for you tonight. I mean, how much practice did you do to, dominate this thing, or is this just one of these tracks you just normally run really good at?
I like Michigan, but last night, me and the boys from DBR got in here and pretty much stayed in here the entire practice session last night. So I learned a little bit of something last night, and they learned some stuff too. But it's just I really like this track, and this is one of my favorite cars to drive, man. So yeah, it was a fun race.
I noticed that every one of your restarts were pretty much the same. You would start on the bottom of the track, and as soon as you got started, you would pull that car to the very top of the track. And once you pulled that car to the very top of the track, you would quickly descend away from the rest of the pack. Was that something you found in practice?
Yeah, I found out in practice last night that on the first five or eight laps of a run on new tires, you can pretty much go half to 3/4 throttle all the way through the first two turns, and just use a little bit of brake in 3 and 4, but pretty much wide open through 1 and 2, man. And that's where it was paying dividends the most, as I was able just to come out and pull away from everybody.
Well, it definitely worked for sure. And I'm going to use your tips that you just told me. So my next Xfinity race, I'm definitely going to do that. So
Yeah, no doubt.
So you want to thank anybody tonight?
Yeah, man. Shout out to you guys for putting the broadcast on. Shout out to Dylan and all the admins. Shout out to the DBR guys. We all have a ball together, you know. And it was a shout out to everybody in the league. It was actually a pretty halfway decent, clean race. So yeah, it was fun, man. Once that pit stop happened, and I knew I got out in front of Jacob, I knew that it was going to be pretty much smooth sailing from there. I was hoping Tony could get up there and get around me, but because try to get him in the playoffs. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, it definitely is what it is. So congratulations. You were already locked into the round of 10 anyways. You really could have ran 10th or 11th or something like that, and still would have been fine. But you went out here and dominated this thing, and congratulations on total domination once again. And we will see you next week
Yeah,
in the Ghost Fire Media.
I got one more shout out to throw out there, man. I'd like to throw a shout out to Paul Setup Shop and Reaper Speed Labs.
Okay, great. You got it out there, and once again, we will see you next week. And have a great week, man. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
See ya.
All
right, man.
Randy, go ahead and read us out, please.
All right, folks, you've been watching the racing here at the Michigan International Raceway on the Ghost Fire Media Network. Randy Pepper alongside Nick Adams, who was here part of the time, but he was here all of the time producing this great picture you guys got to see. So
I apologize,
Nick,
folks.
Yeah, Nick apologizes. He could not be here in his full self. So, but he did a wonderful job in producing this whole thing. I could not have done this without him. And guys, thanks for watching. We're going to see you guys next week, and we'll see how the round of 10 shakes up. Until next week, you guys, have a great one. And so long from the Sunshine State.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching iRacing on the Ghost Fire Media Network.